Hi everyone, and today I'll show you one of the most powerful builds in the game for Harley Quinn, and it's the highest DPS meta Harley build with a great survivability. It's a very easy build to use, it's a very fun build to use with a lot of grenade explosions all over the place, and you will see how it's working right now. So what is this build about? This build is based on four main key actions, and they are grenade kills, SMG kills, melee hits, and your traversal skill use. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just throwing grenades over and over. I'm recharging grenades as far as possible, as fast as possible. And I'm shooting my SMG when I want to increase my DPS even further. And I'm using my melee hits to recharge my grenades even faster. And yeah, when I get my traversal skill, I'm using my traversal skill and other skills. So it's basically just SMG grenades, traversal melee, SMG grenades, traversal melee, and you're just doing this little rotation, very simple rotation, and honestly you can just throw grenades all over the time and just sometimes use your melee. You can even ease your rotation to just two actions like throwing grenades and using your melee, and it will be also quite enough to clear very effective and very easy, even high mastery ranks. So about this build, what do you need for this build? You need two tier sets. It's tier 1 set from Finite Crisis ranking, and you need tier 3 set. And you need be sure that you for this build you need 3 pieces of every set of tier 1 set and tier 3 set. About sets, why do you need them? Tier 1 set is recharging our grenades, giving our grenades back when we are just using melee hits, and also it's increasing our grenade damage by 200%. And also, it's again with the third piece, it's again recharging our grenades, giving our grenades back. About tier 3 sets increasing our overall damage, and in addition, it's also increasing damage on crazy enemies, on crazed enemies. We'll talk about Afflictions a little bit later. And also, it's increasing our traversal attack recharge, and also it's when we're using our traversal attack, it's also increasing our general damage to enemies. So it's really powerful to set. It's increasing our overall damage and our damage with our grenades. And also I'm using this melee weapon. Why I'm using this? Because it's synergizing with our tier sets, and it's also giving us a chance, 100% chance, harvesting enemies to drop additional grenades. So we're recharging grenades as fast as possible. We're just getting more and more grenades, and we're just throwing grenades all over the time. So it's a build about grenades, but also you can use your SMG to increase damage even further. And in ideal situation, to get the best DPS possible with this build, you need to throw grenades, shoot SMG as I already told you, and use your melees to recharge grenades, throw grenades again, throw grenades again and again using your SMG, and again using your melee and using your skills whenever they are ready. So about our augmentations, what augmentations I'm using? Of course, I'm increasing my damage, SMG damage and SMG critical hit damage, because it's always a really nice to increase, a really nice opportunity to increase damage. If you have an opportunity to increase your damage, definitely use it, especially in such builds when you're using one particular weapon and one particular mechanic like grenade. So I'm using augmentations to increase my SMG damage and damage to ground enemies. Also, on second SMG, I'm also increasing my SMG damage to crazy enemies. About Afflictions, as already told you, we will talk a little bit later. Additional ammo, because sometimes why I'm increasing my ammo gain from critical hits on this firearm, because in ideal situation you need to change your tier 1 SMG to tier 1 hand cannon or pistol to have more ammo, because if you are using, at least as far as I can see in this game, like in Destiny 2, when Destiny 2 didn't have unlimited ammo on primary weapons. When you are using two weapons of the same archetype, of the same ammo type, you just sharing the ammo between these two guns, And when ammo on one weapon is when you're using all the ammo on one weapon, second weapon also is empty. So you definitely need to change SMG tier 1 to pistol, or if you want, for example, if you want, you can also change SMG tier 3 to LMG from tier 3, whatever you want, but you definitely need one SMG from tier 3 or tier 1 and second weapon of tier 1 or tier 3, whatever you want. I'm using double SMGs because I really like their stats, but in ideal build, you need to change one of them to other archetype to have more ammo. And if you're using two SMGs on one of the SMG, you definitely need a perk to increasing your ammo gained from critical hits to get more ammo to not struggle from ammo economy. On my melee, I'm increasing my melee damage to grunt enemies to get additional melee kills. I'm increasing my traversal attack from melee hits because we are using melee hits to recharge our grenades. So now, why not recharge our main skill we are using this build additional from just melee hits? And also because on higher mastery ranks, they're quite painful and you definitely need more health and more survivability, so I'm increasing my shield regeneration on my melee hits. It's also very nice additional survivability bonus. On my grenades, I'm increasing my grenade damage to grunt enemies. Why on grunt enemies but not on brute enemies? Because you remember from tier 1 sets, we recharging our grenades when we are killing enemies with grenades. And it's much easier to kill grunt enemies to recharge grenades even faster to get more grenades. So I'm increased my damage against grunt enemies to kill them much faster and to get more grenades, because grunt enemies are much easier. Are much easier to be killed. You just need on high mastery, you just need to grenades to kill regular grunt enemies. So I'm increasing my damage against grunt enemies. Also, I'm increasing my grenade drop chance, quite obvious, and I'm increasing my grenade damage while airborne, because in this game you need to master your traversal if you want to avoid a lot of damage. You definitely want to master your traversal, and especially if you are climbing up in master ranks, you need to master your traversal. Master ranks, they are really dependent on your traversal mastery. So on my shield mod, I'm using additional suicide strike resource generation, because it's a skill that additionally giving us additional shields. It means health for our character. And also I'm increasing my traversal attack regeneration, like our main skill. My affliction passive resource built up. I will talk about afflictions, as already told you, a little bit later. And on my traversal mods, I'm increasing again traversal attack resource generation, traversal attack damage, because it's a very powerful skill doing AoE damage, and ammo gained from traversal attack, because as I already told you, I'm using double SMG, and to get more ammo, I'm increasing my ammo gained from traversal attack. Because traversal attack is our very fast recharging skill due to our tier 3 set, and this is why I'm increasing my traversal damage, resource generation, and ammo gain to have more ammo for our SMGs, to use my SMGs even more often, because if you're using SMGs, double SMG without any ammo mods, ammo augmentations, you will definitely suck because of ammo economy. And on my neck bomb, I'm using grenade damage to grunt enemies again, shield harvest chance, because, come on, you need more health, you need more survivability. And my damage to crazed enemies, again, afflictions a little bit later. And on my lucky charm, I'm increasing my XP gain, because, quite obvious, I still need more suicide, more squad skills, and this is why I'm using additional XP mods. And you definitely also want, if you want to level up even faster, because in this game you have some sort of Paragon system from Diablo or champion system from ESO. So if you want to level up these squad skills tree, to get more squad skills, you definitely need 1 bonus for XP, but it's not mandatory, it's just additional bonus, because in this slot I see no better skills, additional radius of getting grenades, and additional pickup radius. I don't see much use of it, so I'm just using XP, but it's flex spot, you can use whatever you want. Again, I'm increasing my critical hit damage because additional damage from every single source of damage in my build, and additional shield regeneration on critical hit, because Harley Quinn, it's some sort of at least as I see in my gameplay, it's some sort of Nightblade from ESO. She's doing a lot of critical damage and additional shield generation on critical hits. It may look like it's only 1% on critical hits. It's nothing, but for example, from traversal attack, you get something like, you will see even in my clip, you can get something like, for example, 20 crits. And even more if you're lucky enough, if you have a lot of enemies. So it's a really nice chance of shield generation from just traversal attack, and you were using traversal attack very fast. Very often it's recharging very fast, so it's a nice chance. It looks like it's only 1%, but this 1% is broken on every critical hit, from every critical on every critical hit source in the game. About our talents, we're using what I'm using additional bleed damage on my melee hits, because we're using melee hits sometimes to recharge our grenades. Why not do additional DPS? Handy and cannons, group therapy, to get additional combo to proc ballerina. What else? Cherry bomb to grenade hits. Have a 25% chance to spawn additional live grenade, because we definitely need more grenades in this build. You can see it's mostly grenade build. What else? Grenades parade. Enemies hit by your grenades take 20% more damage by 10 seconds, because we're using grenades all the time, so we definitely need to increase our grenade damage. Also clown smackdown and ballerina. It's one of the most wonderful perks in the game. We just reaching 40 combo and increasing our firearm damage by 75%. And you remember that we're using our SMG almost, if not all the time, but very often we're using SMG a lot, and also increasing our grenade damage by 50%. It's a really, really powerful thing, and you are getting 40 combo pretty fast. I have no problems in reaching my 40 combos, so it's even without some additional perks, like for example, where it was without different perks increasing my additional combo generation, like audience participation. I'm still getting 40 combo pretty fast in game activities and incursion missions. What else I'm using? Performance arts, additional damage reduction, because you definitely want this perk, especially if you are playing master ranks like 30 plus, and even if you are playing even higher master ranks, you definitely want this perk, because, come on guys, damage reduction, it's your survivability. You definitely want this and not drone in the zone, because Shield Harvest, additional traversal attack, grapple attack, traversal attack resource. You have tier 3 sets to generate additional skill, additional traversal attack resource, and your damage reduction is everything, especially if you are playing higher master ranks, higher than 40 or 46 or 50. Next, I'm using increased shield overcharge by 50% and shield pickup amount by 25%. Again, for my survivability, enemies hit by our grenades dealing 25 less damage for 15 seconds, because I'm using powder keg, because I'm using grenades all the time. I'm hitting enemies all over the time, and hitting enemies with your grenades, you reducing damage income from these enemies hit by grenades by 25%. It's a very powerful, extremely powerful and vital perk you definitely need for your build. And now we're using Tightrope Acts, also giving us every additional 1 combo at 30 combo and higher. We get a 5% chance to cheat death and just regenerate our death. And it's also a very powerful tool just to survive one-shot mechanics, because sometimes, for example, if you're standing near big enemy, near huge enemies that are going to explain, if you're going to explode and you don't have enough time to run away, you just have this really awesome passive to save you in such situations. So it's a really powerful perk you definitely want to have in your build. And also I'm using Kiss Ben Ben because again guys, we're increasing our firearm and grenade damage, and at 550 combo and higher we're increasing, as already told you, additional grenade damage and firearm damage to get the highest DPS possible in the game. Also, what we are using, we're increasing our damage reduction while airborne, we're using our bed drone, and quite obvious why we're using this, because we need to be airborne to avoid most of the damage. Again, additional grenade damage is increased by 20% while airborne, because again we're spending a lot of time in the air and we're shooting grenades, we're throwing grenades all the time, so it's also a really nice perk. And obviously you don't have any other variations in the slot, in the third slot in this perk tree, so it's one of the most important perks in our build. So you anyway you will get this perk because it's the only perk in this line. And also we're using elusiveness, 100% chance we won't lose our combo when combo breaker even trigger. Why we're using this and not birds of prey? Because yes, we're using grapple attack. We're using our traversal grapple attack almost all the time. It's recharging very fast, but we still have enough grenades. But sometimes in some situations we still can lose our combo. And to proc ballerina even further, we don't need, as I already told you, we don't need a lot skills to generate our combo, but one skill to save our combo is really useful. So I'm using elusiveness. If you're sure that you will not lose your combo, of course use birds of prey, but I still prefer elusiveness to not lose my combo. Also I'm using combo cost, also quite obvious why, because ground slides, ground awaits, you sometimes you're using this just automatically, and you have 100% chance to generate additional combo in combat. So it's a really easy skill to play, to proc and additional combo. And the 20 combo and higher will also increase in our grapple attack, traversal attack damage by 500%, by sorry please, not 500 but 50%. And also we're using our traversal attack quite often, so also very nice, very powerful skill. And also, when you need additional health, when you are struggling with health, you just using your squad ultimate, and using your squad ultimate, you just recharging your shield and your health. So keep your squad ultimate, and in critical situation with the perk ultimate refresher, you will just recharge all your health and all your shield with just one single skill. And about our afflictions, I've been telling you that I will talk about afflictions a little bit later, so this is its time. What about our afflictions? Why do we need crazy afflictions? Because sometimes you will struggle, especially when you are playing 46 and 50 and higher mastery. Sometimes from the modifications of mastery activity, of incursion missions at higher mastery ranks, you will suffer from some types of enemies. And if you don't have anything, if you can't shield harvest any enemy, if you don't have your grenades, if you don't have anything at all, you can just simply use your melee hits. You can just afflict crazy debuff on your enemies with your melee weapon, and it crazy your enemies. Yes, what doing crazy debuff? Yes, it's increasing enemies' health, but it's also making enemies attacking each other. And you remember then, when enemies attacking each other, crazy enemies attacking each other, from tier 3 sets, we're getting our health back. It's very powerful set, and it's also helping us to to get our health back from just using crazy affliction. So you can use crazy affliction even when you are playing at any mastery difficulty, at any mastery level. You can just use it, you can just implement it in your rotation with SMG kills, grenade kills, with other stuff we've been talking about. But I'm using this affliction, crazy affliction, mainly because sometimes you will definitely struggle because of modifications of the activity, and this time you will just use your grenade affliction or your melee affliction, and it will definitely save your life while you are standing somewhere in a hiding place and recharging your health. So it's definitely worth it, especially when you are in a very tough, difficult situation. And this is why I'm using the Turtle Steel Force Conduit, because it's our traversal mod. Because it's also, when we are moving, it's increasing our damage even further, and when we are standing, it's increasing our resistance. For such situations where I need to recharge my health, I'm just hiding in some place, standing, and this time while I'm regaining my health, I'm just getting a really nice damage reduction to survive any tough situation when I get in some of these situations. And now about our squad skills, what we're using. If you don't have, and if your total character level is not 90, what you need to use? You definitely need to use killing things to squad level. At squad level 45, you unlock in Killing Things 3, you unlock this little star, this little point that's increasing your grenade damage. So we definitely need this star that's increasing your grenade damage even further. You need this star in Blue 3 that's increasing your grenade ammo drop chance, 20 points at every of the stars. And if you are not at level 90, total character level 90, you need to use additional health star and additional shield star. But when you are reaching level 90, change these two stars, health star and shield star, to, let me show you where it is. Yeah, here it is, to damage reduction from grunt enemies and damage reduction from brute enemies. So if you are a new player, if you don't have enough stars, if you don't have enough total character level 90, use stars like I'm using. But if you're already at character level 90, change these two blue stars, health star and shield star, to damage reduction from grunt enemies and damage reduction from brute enemies. And also, even further, when you will have enough squad skills to invest even further, you will upgrade this star grenade damage to 20, you will upgrade this grenade ammo drop chance star to 20, and when you will change health and shield star to damage reduction from grunt and brute enemies, you can also unlock and invest into these two stars, where it is also on level 90. Yeah, here it is, damage to grunt enemies and damage to brute enemies. So what you need for this build, you need this star, grenade damage, this star, grenade ammo drop chance, damage reduction from grunt enemies and brute enemies, and after that, finally, you will need to put your squad skill points into damage to grunt enemies and damage to brute enemies. So it's pretty everything, and a little sneak peek of our deadliest assassin builds. I will make another video about him. You can make a pause on this video and check my builds. I will make additional video on his build. Just a little sneak peek for you to understand what you are waiting for. And now about gameplay, our gameplay, what I've already been talking about, how we are playing. We just using our grenades, we are shooting our SMG, and it's pretty everything. So basically it's our gameplay loop. Now I'm using my SMG, I'm using my shield harvest, I'm using my melee, and with my melee I'm recharging my grenades. Now I'm already at the peak of my grenades, at the cap of my grenades. Now I can again use my grenades. So it's pretty everything what I'm doing. I'm just throwing my grenades again. I'm just shooting my SMG. I'm just using my melee when I need additional grenades, and I'm using my traversal skill whenever I need it. And it's pretty everything. It's quite easy to use. It's quite fun to use. It's very powerful, really strong build. And now I'll show you how I'm doing one of the mastery activities. And you can see that I died 0 times. It's no death run. It's really easy build. It's a great survivability build with a really high DPS. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content like this, more builds on Suicide Squad and other RPG, action RPG, and some more MMORPG games. And we'll see you in the next video. Good luck.
Let's do this with finesse, squad. At the fallen radio tower. My wisest acquisition. You'll need to be ruthless and efficient here, like me. Headshots for faster charge, please. He makes the shot from hang time. Objective complete.
I got one kicking one. There's gotta be someone to kick.
Like a welcoming party right here. You're capable of such ferocity, Grinzel. What a waste. Heads up! Here's one for you! Exactly as I had planned, and with time to spare. So you should make it back in one piece, too.
Yeesh! Glad that ain't me! Drone, work with me here?
Gave me the shot. Range don't mean a thing. Who needs rooftops to snipe? If it's carnage you want, Harley, I can provide it for you endlessly.
I'd say I deserve a prize! I'm reloading here!
Harley's enthusiasm is infectious and deadly.
Oh, I did it! Now what do I get? Check
Wonderful
out
execution. I didn't even need to add extra time for you. 86% chance of survival.
Brainiac's gonna run out of troops real quick if he keeps doing that!
I capture these ratings myself. Try not to die. We're not done yet.
Is that right?
This is Nanawe using his full strength. Distasteful. And yet,
To the victor go the spoil, and the victor is me.
such a talent for chaos, Grinzel. And in service of what? Coming morning, dead shot.
Drowning? Drowning!
Bombs away! Time. Cooking. Is it odd how humor tends to dissipate the closer we get to the gallows? You're a astonishing recklessness, Harley. It will only get you so far.
Later. I catch air, they catch bullets. Honestly, it's in the name.
Watch for the clown's tricks. She's armed with explosives.
Keep the target killed, movers, while I'm killer. Come on, drone, crimes are wasted. Don't mind me dropping in, do ya? Done. I'd say I deserve a prize.
Can somebody take those bombs away from Quinzel? By force.
Prepare yourself. It is exploding.
Oh, I did it. Now what do I get?
Exactly as I had planned, and with time to spare. Now you should make it back in one piece, too. Superb. Without a war suit, it's unlikely I could have done better myself. Make the exit portal your priority, especially as I have deprioritized the Prometheum shield. This isn't a victory, Task Force X. It's delaying the inevitable. And you know as well as I, it is inevitable.
Jabbing those garments, one after another. Hey, maybe we got a future in pest
Targeting
control.
10 shots.
Wow, this baby's gonna have my name all over it in non-sphere mascara.
There you go, hogging the limelight again.
And again, guys, a few words after video. Developers grades a really great job creating a really nice game with a wonderful endgame. If we're talking about endgame, this game is one of the best games in general. It reminds me Outriders, when you can also increase your difficulty all over higher and higher all the time. And it's really, it plays like Outriders in some ways, with a very nice builds, crafts, and potential. I really like crafting builds in this game, and testing builds and playing endgame activities, but this game needs few improvements, at least for endgame. Developers need to increase rewards and to make any rewards for leaderboard for your climbing leaderboards, like for example in ESO or even in Skull and Bones, when you are just reaching several ranks in leaderboard, you just getting at least something, because currently when you are reaching leaderboard, you just getting nothing. And another really great problem currently in this game, in leaderboard for 2 weeks already. I'm doing this video. Today is March the 2nd, and the problem is for 2 weeks already, 2 weeks and a half, top 10 leaderboards in every activities are just simply cheaters who are just playing with 2 or 3 total from with 40 skills unlocked, 40 total character level, and 2 billions skill points put it in this squad skills tree. So it's just something not really fun, because what's the point of climbing leaderboard if a person have several billions skill points? You just put it into this tree, and it's simply, you just can't do this simply without cheats. It's just impossible, because it's a cap of 40 here, and people just making here some impossible crazy numbers, and here also several billions, and you simply can't or play them in leaderboard. So it's a really big problem, especially if you have leaderboard in the game. You definitely need to do something, especially with the game with anti-cheat system. Anti-cheat system, it simply doesn't work like we can see from leaderboards. So you need to do something with that, because your game, it's a really fun game. If you are playing this, if you like to make builds, it's a wonderful game. As I already told you, it reminds me of Outriders a lot. I didn't get such excitement from Buildcraft and after I played since I've played Outriders. So it's a nice game if we're talking about Endgame, but it definitely needs some improvements, especially if we're talking Endgame, leaderboards, ranking system, etc., etc. But still, it's a nice game if you want to create your own build, if you want complete liberty in buildcrafts, and it's still a really nice game. But it would definitely need as fast as possible these improvements, because cheaters, they are really really big plague and the problem for this game. So again, like and subscribe, guys, for more content like this, and see you in Metropolis and in the next video.